The silent return, the last peaceful dawn the galaxy had known peace for 50 millennia. The Galactic Federation stretched across 12,000 star systems, governing over 200 species with wisdom and fairness. Or so everyone believed. The Federation Council, composed of the eldest races, maintained order through carefully crafted laws and swift justice. Trade flourished. Colonies thrived. Wars became distant memories, found only in history archives. Captain Theron Vask of the Meridian Guard stood on the observation deck of his patrol cruiser. The horizon's edge, watching distant nebulae paint the darkness with colors that had no names in his language. He was Caltharian, a species known for their 3 hearts, crystalline skin that shifted colors with their emotions, and an unwavering sense of duty. For 20 cycles, he had patrolled Sector 9, the outermost region of charted space where nothing interesting ever occurred. His second officer, Lieutenant Mora, approached with her usual graceful movements. She was Silarian, tall and ethereal, with silver eyes that could see across multiple dimensions. "Captain, our deep space sensors have detected something unusual near the Blackstone Rift," she reported, her voice carrying the musical quality typical of her people. Theron's skin flickered from calm blue to curious amber. "Define unusual, Lieutenant." "An object emerging from dark space. The readings are unlike anything in our database." Mora's fingers danced across her holographic display. "The design appears ancient, predating even the Federation's founding. Dark space. The vast emptiness between galaxies where no life could survive, where even light itself seemed to die. Nothing came from dark space. Nothing ever had." Theron moved quickly to the command center, his crew already at their stations. On the main view screen, enhanced imaging showed a vessel materializing from the absolute void. The ghost from beyond. The ship was enormous, dwarfing even the Federation's largest battle cruisers. Its design spoke of an age long forgotten, with smooth lines and proportions that seemed both elegant and purposeful. The hull bore markings that the computer struggled to identify, cycling through millions of historical records in mere seconds. Then it found a match. Theron's 3 hearts beat faster as the information scrolled across his screen. Human design. Origin, Earth. Estimated age, 50,000 years. Status, species presumed extinct. "Battle stations," Theron commanded, his voice steady despite the shock. "Raise shields. Charge all weapon systems. Send an emergency transmission to Federation Command." His crew responded with trained precision. The horizon's edge hummed with power as its defensive systems came online. 2 other patrol ships in the sector moved into flanking positions, forming a defensive triangle around the mysterious vessel. "Sir?" "The ship shows no energy signatures," reported Ensign Keto, a young Dravenian whose scales were pale with nervousness. "No life signs. No active weapons. It appears completely dormant." Theron studied the vessel carefully. Humanity. He had learned about them during his academy days. They had been explorers, scientists, and dreamers who had ventured into the stars thousands of years before the Federation formed. Then, 50,000 years ago, they vanished without explanation. Every human colony fell silent simultaneously. Every ship disappeared. Every trace of their civilization seemed to evaporate overnight. The official Federation records stated they had destroyed themselves in a war. A cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked technological advancement. But looking at this pristine vessel, Theron wondered if that story was true. Secrets in the silence. "Deploy scanning probes," Theron ordered. "I want full spectrum analysis. And prepare a boarding team. Full environmental suits and heavy weapons." While probes circled the human ship, gathering data, Theron reviewed what little was known about humanity. They had been remarkable, developing faster than light travel centuries before most species even discovered fire. Their art, music, and literature had been studied by xenoanthropologists for thousands of years after their disappearance. They had been friends to many species, sharing technology and knowledge freely. "Captain, you need to see this," Mora called out, her silver eyes wide with amazement. "The probes have found something on the ship's hull. Inscriptions in modern galactic standard, not ancient human languages." On screen, words appeared, carved into the metal in precise lettering. "To those who find this vessel, we did not die. We were taken. Seek the truth beyond the veil of stars. The coordinates within will show you the way. Trust no one in power. The Terran Collective." Theron read the message 3 times, each word deepening his confusion. Taken? By whom? The Veil of Stars was a region of space declared forbidden by Federation decree generations ago, officially because of dangerous spatial anomalies. But now he wondered about the real reason. "Sir, Federation Command is responding to our transmission," his communications officer announced. "Admiral Sorov himself is on the channel." The Admiral's face appeared on screen. He was Korthan, one of the founding species of the Federation, with scaled features and eyes that burned like dying stars. "Captain Vask, you are to destroy that vessel immediately. No investigation. No boarding. Complete obliteration. Those are direct orders from the High Council." Theron's skin shifted to shocked yellow. "Admiral, with respect, we have barely begun our examination. The ship may contain valuable historical information. Your orders are clear, Captain. Destroy it now." The Admiral's tone left no room for argument. "This matter concerns Federation security at the highest level." The transmission ended abruptly. Theron stood frozen, his mind racing. The Federation never ordered destruction without investigation. They were scholars, diplomats, and peacekeepers. Such an extreme command made no sense unless they were hiding something. The choice Lieutenant Mora moved closer, speaking softly so only Theron could hear. "Captain, in my culture, we have an old saying, when the powerful fear knowledge, that knowledge is worth dying for." Theron looked at his crew. Young faces, old faces, a dozen different species, all serving together in the name of peace and unity. He thought of his oath to protect the Federation and its citizens. But he also thought of another oath he had taken, to seek truth and justice above all else. "Lieutenant, plot a course to the coordinates from the human ship," he said quietly. "Maximum stealth protocols. Tell the crew this is a volunteer mission. Anyone who wishes to transfer to another vessel may do so without prejudice." Mora's silver eyes gleamed with approval. "And the Federation's orders, sir?" "We will report that the vessel self-destructed before we could fully investigate," Theron replied, knowing he was crossing a line he could never uncross. "Sometimes, Lieutenant, duty to truth outweighs duty to authority." Asterisk, not a single crew member chose to leave. Within the hour, the Horizon's Edge had downloaded the complete data archive from the human ship, including detailed coordinates pointing to a location deep within the Veil of Stars. The ancient vessel was left floating in space, a silent monument to a civilization the galaxy had tried to forget as they jumped into dark space. Heading toward Forbidden's territory, Theron felt his 3 hearts beat in unison. Fear, excitement, and determination flowed through him. Humanity had left them a message after 50,000 years of silence. Whatever truth waited beyond the Veil of Stars, he would find it. Behind them, the human ship began broadcasting its message to every vessel that passed, ensuring that others would follow. The seeds of doubt had been planted across the galaxy. Soon, those seeds would grow into a revolution that would shatter everything the Federation had built out in the depths of the Forbidden Zone. Something ancient stirred. Sensors that had been dormant for millennia began awakening. The Terran Collective had waited patiently for this moment. Now at last, It was time to show the galaxy what humanity had become during their long exile in the darkness. The truth would be far more terrifying and wonderful than anyone could imagine. Asterisk. The shattered illusion beyond the veil. The journey through dark space felt endless. 3 days of traveling through absolute nothingness, where even stars disappeared from view. Captain Theron Vask stood on the bridge of the horizon's edge, watching his crew work in tense silence. They all knew they had committed treason. There would be no going back to their old lives. Regardless of what they found, Lieutenant Mora monitored their course with unwavering focus. Her silver eyes occasionally flickered with concern as Federation pursuit signals appeared and disappeared on long-range sensors. Captain, we are approaching the coordinates. Preparing to drop from dark space in 60 seconds. Theron's crystalline skin shifted through nervous patterns of color. Whatever lay ahead would either vindicate their decision or prove them fools. All stations, prepare for emergence. Weapons ready, but hold fire unless directly threatened. Remember, we come seeking truth, not conflict. The ship shuddered as it transitioned back into normal space. The view screen blazed with light as reality reasserted itself around them. What they saw made every crew member gasp in astonishment. Before them stretched a massive structure that defied comprehension. It was a station, but calling it merely it seemed inadequate. The construct was the size of a small moon, built with technology that made Federation engineering look primitive by comparison. Thousands of ships surrounded it, designs ranging from sleek modern vessels to ancient cruisers that matched the ghost ship they had found. And everywhere, movement, life, activity. Scanning multiple species signatures, Ensign Kata reported, his voice trembling with excitement. Human, Keltharian, Solarian, Dravinian, and dozens of others. Captain, there are over 50 million life forms on that station. How is this possible? Mora whispered. The veil was supposed to be uninhabitable. Spatial anomalies, radiation storms, complete navigation impossibility. A transmission cut through their confusion. The face that appeared on their view screen was human, unmistakably so, despite subtle differences that suggested 50,000 years of separate evolution. The woman had dark skin marked with bioluminescent patterns, eyes that held depths of ancient knowledge, and a calm smile that somehow conveyed both welcome and warning. Greetings, Captain Vask of the Horizon's Edge. I am Sentinel Commander Arya Chun of the Terran Collective. We have been waiting for you. Welcome to Haven Station, the home of the exiled and the enlightened. You have taken the first step on a journey that will change everything you believe about your galaxy. The hidden truth within an hour, Theron and a small delegation were aboard Haven Station. The interior was breathtaking, a fusion of nature and technology that created spaces both functional and beautiful. Gardens grew alongside advanced laboratories. Waterfalls flowed through public spaces powered by energy systems that produced no waste. Beings from dozens of species moved freely, working together with a harmony that seemed almost impossible. Commander Chun led them through wide corridors toward the station's central chamber. She moved with a grace that suggested enhanced physical capabilities, her bioluminescent markings pulsing gently with each step. I imagine you have many questions, Captain. Allow me to begin with the most important answer. Humanity did not die, and we did not leave by choice. They entered a vast chamber where holographic displays filled the air, showing star maps, historical records, and data streams that would take years to fully comprehend. At the center stood a council of beings representing numerous species, all watching Theron's group with expressions mixing hope and caution. 50,000 years ago, Chun began, her voice carrying through the chamber. Humanity discovered something that the Galactic Federation's founders desperately wanted to keep hidden. We found evidence of an ancient race called the Primordials, beings who existed millions of years before any current civilization. More importantly, we discovered what they left behind. She gestured, and a hologram materialized showing a network of massive structures hidden throughout the galaxy. The primordials built a control system, a network of devices designed to limit the development of younger species. They believed that true advancement would lead to self-destruction, so they created invisible barriers. Technological ceilings that species could not cross. Mental blocks that prevented certain types of innovation. Energy dampeners that made some discoveries impossible. Theron felt his 3 hearts racing. That's impossible. The Federation promotes growth and development. The Federation promotes controlled growth, corrected an elderly Caltharian from the Council, his crystalline skin showing the deep purple of age and wisdom. I am Elder Vorn. I was once a High Council member myself, before I learned the truth and chose exile over complicity. The Federation's founders discovered the primordial network 10,000 years before humanity emerged. Instead of dismantling it, they chose to use it. Another hologram appeared, showing the early days of the Federation. The founding species realized they could control galactic civilization by controlling its development. They could ensure their own species remained dominant by limiting how advanced others could become. They positioned themselves as wise guides, but in truth, they were jailers maintaining an invisible prison. Humanity's Discovery Chen continued the explanation, her luminescent patterns brightening with intensity. Humanity was different. We developed too quickly, spread too far, asked too many questions. Within 5,000 years of achieving spaceflight, we had mapped the entire primordial network. We understood what it did and how it worked. More dangerously, we figured out how to disable it. When we presented our findings to the Federation Council, requesting their help in freeing all species from these ancient chains, we expected gratitude. An older human male spoke from the council, his voice heavy with old pain. Instead, we were declared a threat to galactic stability. The council gave us an ultimatum: destroy our research and accept controlled development like everyone else, or face extinction. We refused, Chan said simply. We believed every species deserved the freedom to reach their full potential, to rise or fall by their own choices. So the council acted. They used the primordial network itself against us, amplifying it in human space to catastrophic levels. Our technology stopped working. Our ships failed. Our colonies lost power. Within weeks, humanity was crippled. The hologram showed the horror of those days. Human worlds going dark one by one. Ships drifting dead in space. Millions dying as life support systems failed. But it also showed something else. Humanity's desperate evacuation. Ships fleeing into dark space, carrying whatever survivors they could save. We escaped here, beyond the network's reach, Chen explained. In dark space, the primordial devices have no power. We spent 50,000 years rebuilding, advancing, and preparing. Without the network's limitations, we progressed beyond anything the galaxy has seen. But we were not alone in our exile. She gestured to the diverse council. Others discovered the truth over the millennia. Some through their own research, others because they questioned too loudly and faced the Federation's wrath. Scientists, philosophers, military officers who saw inconsistencies in the official history. All were given the same choice: silence or exile. Those who chose exile found us, and together we built Haven Station and dozens of others like it throughout dark space. The great deception Elder Vorn stepped forward, his ancient eyes meeting Theron's. Captain, everything you have been taught is a carefully constructed lie. The Federation does not exist to promote peace and prosperity. It exists to maintain control. Every law, every trade route, every colony placement, all of it designed to keep species weak and dependent. The founding species are not benevolent guides. added a Solarian woman from the council, her silver eyes blazing with righteous anger. They are parasites who feed on the potential of younger civilizations. They allow just enough development to keep economies functioning and populations content, but never enough for any species to challenge their authority. Asterisk Mora spoke up, her voice shaking. But the Federation has done so much good. We have prevented wars, cured diseases, established justice across thousands of worlds. Yes, Chun acknowledged. And that is what makes the deception so effective. The Federation does provide real benefits, which makes people willing to overlook the invisible cage they live in. You cannot miss freedoms you do not know exist. You cannot dream of achievements that have been made impossible by ancient machines you cannot detect. She brought up another hologram, this one showing the full extent of the primordial network. Thousands of devices hidden in asteroids, nebulae, even stars themselves, all working in concert to limit galactic civilization. This is your prison, Captain Vask. Beautiful, comfortable, but a prison nonetheless. Every species in Federation space is operating at perhaps 30% of their true potential. Imagine what your people could achieve without these chains. Imagine what wonders you could create, what problems you could solve, what heights you could reach. The choice before them, Theron felt overwhelmed, his skin cycling rapidly through colors, reflecting his emotional turmoil. Part of him wanted to reject everything he was hearing, to cling to the comfortable certainty of his old beliefs. But another part, the part that had always questioned, that had chosen truth over orders, recognized the ring of authenticity in these revelations. Why reveal this now? He asked. Why after 50,000 years? Because we are finally ready, Chun replied. We have built a fleet capable of defending ourselves. We have developed technology that can dismantle the primordial network permanently. And most importantly, we have gathered evidence that even the most loyal Federation citizen cannot deny. The time has come to free the galaxy, whether the Council approves or not. She locked eyes with Theron. We sent out those ghost ships as seeds, hoping to find individuals like you. People who value truth enough to risk everything. We need allies within Federation space, beings willing to spread the truth, to help prepare their people for the revolution that is coming. The question is, Captain Vask, will you be one of them? The chamber fell silent. Every eye focused on Theron. His crew looked to him for guidance. The Council waited for his decision. The weight of 50,000 years of exile and preparation rested on this moment. Theron thought of his homeworld, of his people living peaceful lives, unaware of the invisible chains limiting their dreams. He thought of the young cadets at the academy, brilliant minds that would never reach their full potential under the current system. He thought of every species in the galaxy, trapped in a beautiful prison designed by beings long dead and maintained by those who benefited from others. Limitations. His skin settled into a deep, resolute red. Commander Chun, my people have a saying, a comfortable cage is still a cage, and any being worthy of the name will eventually seek to break free. Tell us what needs to be done. Chun smiled, and around the chamber, the exiled council members rose to their feet in respect. Then let us begin, Captain. The galaxy has slept in ignorance long enough. It is time for an awakening, and you will help us light the fire that burns away 50,000 years of lies. Outside the station, more ships arrived every hour. Former Federation officers, merchants who had noticed too many inconsistencies, scientists whose research had been mysteriously suppressed. Word was spreading through covert channels. The truth was emerging from the darkness where it had been hidden for so long. Humanity had returned, and they had not come back alone. The greatest deception in galactic history was beginning to crumble. What would rise from its ashes, no one could say. But for the first time in 50 millennia, the galaxy had a chance at true freedom. The revolution had begun. The end asterisk.